Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about Andrea Carter and some recent comments she made, who I think is the biggest hypocrite and liar in sports right now. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next videos. So, Rob, Andrea Carter, as we know, did not want Caitlyn Clark in the Olympic team, and she made up about 38 different reasons that were basically lies about why she shouldn't be on the team. And I'm not going to go over them because we all know what they are.
Right.
And she looks really silly right now. And then she made herself look even worse with her recent comments about Rob, which I thought was really difficult to do because I thought she looked really bad before.
Mm-hmm.
And they were asking her about the recent comments that Alyssa Thomas made about the trolls, who basically Caitlyn Clark fans are the only ones they talked about, even though there's Angel Reese fans that are doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, it's sad. It's sad that on an evening where we had great performances, this is the topic that we have to end on. Now, we didn't have to end on that.
No.
Alyssa Thomas decided to end on that. So let's make that clear. This has probably been going on all season, and she chose to do that right after Caitlyn Clark got eliminated.
Right, yeah.
She wanted to pile on Caitlyn Clark's misery by bringing this out and attacking her again. So let's make that completely clear. And what stood out to me about what Alyssa Thomas said was basketball is heading in a great direction. And then there's a pause. Because again, it's heartbreaking that in a time where our league is so exciting, the excitement around the league is at its highest, but the racial slurs and the derogatory comments and the online bullying are also at their worst. Now, keep in mind, one of the reasons that's happening is because it's also racial slurs from Black people that are Angel Reese fans. But that doesn't seem to bother anyone involved in the WNBA, just so you know. I don't know who's doing more. I'm not on Twitter. I don't know who's making more racial comments, Angel Reese fan or Caitlyn Clark fans. All I know is the only one the league seems concerned about are Caitlyn Clark's fans.
Right.
She goes on, Rob. Go ahead. You want
to
comment?
yeah, right, Mark. I mean, it's going both ways, which the only comment that really is that she says is correct is that that's sad that this is happening. But when you're focusing in on one group and one person, you're saying that it's only on that the fans are directed towards the blacks, only the blacks, then you're not doing the whole picture there. You're not going through the whole picture.
Right. And what they have to understand is there was no eyes on the league before. So, of course, this is going to be at its worst because there's more people. You get more people, you get more racism, you get more bullying, you get more derogatory comments. This has been going on against white men, since sports started for years. It's not just against Black women and lesbians, because that's how fans are. They're childish. They're fanatics.
And also Black athletes too. So
no, I know. I understand that. But
so what I'm saying is that so the Black ladies of the WNBA, welcome to the club. That's what's going to happen when you're a professional. That's what happens.
But like before 1947, there were just white people in the Major League Baseball and in football. Really, they just came in. The Black players started coming in football around the 40s too. And they got all sorts of negative comments towards them from white people against white people. So this is not a new thing for sports fans, just so you know.
Right.
This is the fan. They're children. They're rude. It's just what it is.
They're idiots. They're you don't listen. I mean, you kind of block them out. So but to focus in and just specify that it's Caitlyn Clark fans who are doing it. That's not true. That's not. It's all around. It's all other people. It's just
right.
So,
but here's the part that really gets me, Rob. And I almost fell out of my chair when I read this. Now, just think about one person when you're reading this. She said, "It's also a league that thrives on women that truly take pride in inclusivity, in diversity, and welcoming others and protecting marginalized groups. And there's no room for racism. There's no room for bullying. There's no room for derogatory comments."
Well, let's just bring this up real quick. That we did a person that we did a video about, Teresa Witherspoon, on her flagrant fouls against Clark, and almost like sicking her players on the black players on a white player. So, and then the no protection by the league itself.
Rob, Teresa Witherspoon's behavior as a coach was so bad, she got fired as a coach. It wasn't because of X's and O's. It was because of how she ran the team. That's the main reason she got fired. I never heard one peep from ESPN criticizing her.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Rob. Let's take this one, inclusivity. Okay, they do not want that with Caitlyn Clark. They do not want her in the league. They didn't put her on the Olympic team for that reason. Okay, diversity. Well, they don't want straight white women in the league, Rob, and they don't even want straight women in the league, according to Candace Wiggins, who's black. Mm-hmm. So diversity is not true. So neither of those are true in terms of what these women want. Welcoming others, that was the most unwelcoming welcome in the history of sports since Jackie Robinson. And I'm not comparing her to Jackie Robinson. He got death threats, he got a lot of racial stuff. But still, since then, that's the most welcoming for an athlete in the history of sports since 1948.
and the thing is, she came in and she's helped. She saved the league. She essentially saved the league this year, Mark. She definitely did. If she didn't come in this year, they would not be this popular. She brought it. She helped out a station no one's ever heard of, Ion. Have you ever heard of Ion before? I've never heard of Ion before. But the reason why you hear about them now is because Caitlyn Clark is in the league and she had the games and she was popular. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about Ion. So she's brought all this notoriety into the WNBA, who they claim that we've always been there. No, you have not always been there. You've been there, but no one's ever watched you or cared about you.
And just so it's clear, the reason we don't know and keep hearing about the racism from Angel Reese fans is because Caitlyn Clark hasn't said anything. She hasn't complained about that. so just so we're on the same page here. And she goes on, there's no room for racism. What about the racism against Caitlyn Clark? You don't think it was motivated by race in terms of how they treated her, in terms of how they did not accept her? And there's no room for bullying. You don't think they bullied Caitlyn Clark? What about all the physical contact that took place and flagrant fouls and cheap shots against Caitlyn Clark? You don't think that was bullying? Of course it was bullying.
Yeah. I mean, but and again, I keep on emphasizing this, Mark. It's not just the players, her coach, the other coaches. It's the league. I can't. It's baffling that a league would go after a person who's trying to help them and is making them money, and they still can't realize that, and they just want to just turn the blind eye to their so-called diversity and what's happening to her.
And there's no room for derogatory comments. Again, this happens in sports for 150 years now. It's always going to happen. You're just getting more derogatory comments because there's more eyes on you. And it's not just because they're picking on these women. They do it to everybody. It doesn't matter. I just pointed that out. They were doing it to all the players throughout the history of sports. And of course, it's stupid, but that doesn't mean this is new.
But now, like you said, being the hypocrite that she is, now she's on the Clark bandwagon. Now, of course, now that's the end of the season, they feel safe now, like, oh, whew, okay, now we can talk about how great she was and how well she did during the season. Can't do it during the season because we don't want to offend, like I said, the meeting in the ladies' room there. I can't do it during the season. But now that the season's over, I can kind of like give her some comps.
No, Rob, these women are such hypocrites. They want diversity. They want inclusivity. They want everybody to be welcomed equally. They want to protect marginalized groups, unless it involves the WNBA and a white, straight female named Caitlyn Clark.
Right.
Then that goes out the window. They're doing just what they complain that society is doing to them in their own little sorority that they have going on here to Caitlyn Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the biggest hypocrites in the world, and I'm calling them out for this. And you can't tell me some of this wasn't motivated by Caitlyn Clark's sexuality and, more importantly, her race. Because we've heard the comments. We know. And then she basically said, and we want this league to grow. We'll grow slower if it means leaving those fans out of the mix. Well, you can't leave the fans out of the mix. there's no way to do that. If they want to stick around, they will. If they don't, they won't. But you can't keep them out. It's just so silly.
Yeah, you're gonna. Okay, you guys can't be here. We don't want you. We don't want you, Clark fans. And people are gonna be like, well, you're lucky we're even here in the first place. So
If all the other major sports and major leagues decided only the fans that they like and are complimentary towards the players could be fans, the fans would be cut. I would say maybe 3/4 of the fans would be gone.
right.
It's 3/4 of the fans make negative comments about the athletes all the time.
You're kidding me? I mean, just think about that, Mark. With your team, your favorite football team, favorite baseball team, the one guy on the team, he's supposed to be good. And like I'll do with my Mets, Alonso. If he strikes out, oh, you suck, Alonso. Oh, boo, get him out of the. But then the next he hits a home run. Yeah, you're the best player in the world. Yeah, that's what a fan is. That's what they call it, fans, fanatic.
No, maybe I should 75. Maybe I should say 99.9. Because everyone seems to make negative comments about athletes because sometimes when they play poorly, you have a right to criticize. That's just the way it is.
Right.
So it's interesting because Caitlyn Clark gets bullied. She never plays the victim, always says the right things, pure class, and she's only 22. And she's much more mature than these women who are between the ages of 22 and 42.
Right. She's the adult in the room. A 22-year-old is adult with all these former players, executives of the WNBA, coaches, players. She's the calm one. She's the rational person in the room.
And essentially, they've been pushing this narrative that the WNBA has no issue with Caitlyn Clark. They all love her. Maybe just a couple people don't like her. They're not. These aren't hard fouls. They're just accidents. That's just part of the NBA because we play physicality is important in the NBA.
Right.
And Caitlyn Clark has privilege because she's white, and black women deserve more attention.
And she gets all the special calls.
Right. And accusing the players of targeting Clark is an insult to black and brown women. And, those are the narratives they've been pushing. And they've also been pushing that this is the only league in the world that has a history behind it. And this is the only league in the world that has great players that already exist in this league. None of the other leagues that have rookies coming into the league had that existence before, Rob. When Michael Jordan came into WNBA, there was no history. Did you know that? There was no players before him. There was no great players before him. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I did. Let's see. I can't think of any names, Mark. I can't think of any great players that came in before him, ahead of him.
And Shannon Sharp called him out for them. He said, Caitlyn Clark has no bearing on the fact that these other women are good players or don't get enough attention because of Caitlyn Clark. That doesn't affect them. The additional attention on Caitlyn Clark are new fans. If they wanted to give them attention before, they would have. But they weren't putting a product out there that people wanted to see. Caitlyn Clark puts out a product because she's more exciting than these other players, and they just can't accept that. That's all that's going on here. This is insulting for her to say that, knowing how they've treated Caitlyn Clark as she came into the league.
Yeah.
And these players are such hypocrites. And how can you complain about how society's treating you if you're treating Caitlyn Clark the same way?
So you do it right back to them. So society treats you bad, so I'll do it right back to somebody else.
Right. And, obviously 2 wrongs don't make a right. So and no one's saying that these women didn't get treated poorly in society. Obviously, if you're gay, you're black, and you're female, you've been marginalized in different ways throughout the history of the United States. It's still going on today. Mm-hmm. I accept that as a straight white male, but that doesn't mean to do it to somebody else now. It makes it okay.
Right. Yeah.
So it just doesn't work that way. You just look like a hypocrite. So I don't know why Andrea Carter is always taking the one side. Why doesn't ESPN believe in diversity of opinions of Caitlyn Clark? It doesn't bother any of the women at ESPN. They made all sorts of excuses and reasons for why she shouldn't be on the team. And they said, oh, it's good for her. She gets a rest now. Oh, thank you. We really appreciate that.
Okay.
And that's why she played better, because she got the rest. We did her a favor.
Wow.
They actually said that. She actually said that.
Yeah, he said that. We did her a favor. So there, here you go.
Thank you, Andrea. That's why she's playing better. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, I'm disgusted by this league.
Too much, Mark.
I'm disgusted by ESPN. And it's really sad that we're at this point in society where it's just they have an agenda and they're just going to keep pushing it regardless of whether or not it's fair or factually accurate. Nobody's falling for it, really. They're basically talking to people who are just saying, yeah, right on, sister. Right on, sister. You tell her.
Go, sister girl. Yeah, go, sister girl.
Yeah. No, it's not fooling anybody, just so you know. I mean, it's just making Caitlyn Clark fans even more upset for the unfair treatment, and then you're not even acknowledging it. At least acknowledge it. I just acknowledge all the unfair treatment towards gays, blacks, and females throughout the history of the United States. Why can't they acknowledge this?
Yeah, I mean, and even they just what came out yesterday to go 48% of the attendance has increased in the WNBA. 48%. Jeez, I wonder where that came from and why.
Angel Reese?
Yeah, those double doubles. Yeah, walking double.
It's
definitely.
about her too, Rob. It's
this
is a fantastic rookie class led by Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese.
That's right.
Just so you know.
I don't know, Mark.
All right. So that's my take, and I'm sticking to it. And I really wish the tribalism would end at ESPN because it's disgusting. And I'm tired of the hypocrites. And they look dishonest and silly at this point, Rob.
I'll go further than that. They look stupid. I'll go further than that.
Yeah, well, they're a joke. They're a joke right now, ESPN. And so is Sports Illustrated for putting Angel Reese as the most influential person in sports over Caitlyn Clark. That might have been the dumbest thing Sports Illustrated has ever done. Some of the predictions, maybe, but other than that, that's the dumbest thing they ever did in their entire life. And most unfair, too, because inaccurate. So I don't think it's going to end in this league. So
no,
we'll see what happens. Anyways, let us know what you think. You think I'm being too harsh on Andrea Carter and the league and ESPN? Let me know. I could be wrong. I doubt it.
No.
If you like Caitlyn Clark, subscribe to our channel. If you don't like Andrea Carter's take, subscribe to our channel. Notice I didn't say Andrea Carter. I don't like Andrea Carter, but you don't have to not like her. If you're upset about Rob's Cleveland Browns losing yesterday, subscribe to our channel. Or the Packers or the Eagles or the Bills losing, or your favorite team, subscribe to our channel. Football, subscribe to our channel. We're really close to 5,000 subscribers. We just started in April, by the way. Basketball, football, we need your help. By the way, thanks for all our fans out there and people who've supported us since the very beginning. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And if you like this video, hit the like button. And we're going to go live tonight, 6-8 Eastern time. That's our normal live show. And we're going to cover all of this and all the football games, including college. And we do that every Monday except for major holidays. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats down below and super thanks. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.